Well, the organization was founded because we noticed that in humanitarian emergencies, whether it was a flood or a war or a population that was living in extreme poverty, women were not often included in the decision making. And that midwives are women in a community who sit in a very unique and specific place. They have the trust of the community because they deliver most of the babies, and they know the secrets in a community about sexual assault and domestic violence, trafficking, and these sorts of things. So being introduced into a community through its midwives embeds a level of trust with that just can't be replicated. So we work with midwives on the local community-based level to provide care. And the problem that we're trying to address is in international development, usually the approaches are top-down. They're designed by someone in New York or Geneva, and all of the programming and the funding starts at the top and trickles down. And what we're trying to do is flip it on its head and identify local leaders, local female leaders, local women-powered, women-led organizations, and build up from the bottom.
Well, with poverty or low-income communities in the United States, it's really twofold. It's both low income and it's a lack of savings. We at Just are addressing both sides of the economic equation. We're helping entrepreneurs make more money, and at the same time, we're working with them to build better financial habits so they keep more of what they earn.
So if you look at the demand of Salesforce.com, the company, it's growing exponentially. Revenue, employee, and just companies that are needing talent to maintain it, right? So there's the demand. And then if you look at the supply, you have a large contingent of veterans, spouses, and individuals that are either going through retirement or coming off the battlefield here in Texas, which happens to have the largest, either one or two, depending on California and the year, largest number of veterans of any state in the union, right? And so when you think about that, there's this huge supply, and they're trying to transition into the workforce. And Salesforce recognized this several years ago with VetForce, which is their big program to get 10,000 military veterans trained, certified, and placed into the marketplace. And that's where Merivis came into play, because there was no nonprofit here in Texas that was actually helping veterans transition into a Salesforce career path. And so the problem we're trying to solve and really trying to address is to be that bridge and that connection to this big demand, this big supply, and we're right in the middle doing the training, headshots, resume, coaching, and getting them introduced into the community that is Salesforce.
It reboots my nervous system. I can feel it in my body on days that I do and days that I don't. And I mean, it's really that simple. Like I feel it in how quickly I am to escalate internally, like to get emotive about something that may not require me doing that. We have a lot of opportunities to get triggered or freaked out or feel like crisis is always happening in the work that I do. So a meditation practice, I don't claim that this works every day for me, but it is one of the tools in my toolkit to keep me centered so that the chaos around me doesn't permeate so deeply.
As a social entrepreneur, it's really easy to give of yourself. The mission is so clearly the thing we live for. Yet, if we don't remember we need to care for ourselves, we'll burn out. I'd certainly have attempted to build routine. One of the biggest things that's helped me is meditation. I've been practicing transcendental meditation for a number of years. So it is something each of us has to figure out and make sure we're caring for ourselves. And if we can listen a little bit more to our friends and also to ourselves, I think it would be real helpful.
So there are several, right? I mean, I can't just sit here and say, oh, it's all the running I do or it's the reading. You have to balance it, right? And TM has been very instrumental, right? So there are a lot of times in my life, professionally, personally, or frankly even working in the nonprofit community, where things are coming so fast at me. And what TM has allowed me to do is to just kind of settle down the dust, if you will, in my brain and let me just kind of take things a little slower. And when I dedicate the time, because when you're going really fast, it's hard to think about, well, let me take 15 minutes here and 20 minutes there. But once you invest it, the payback is exponential.